There is a man who has everything: success, money, achievements, but he feels nothing. He wakes up every morning, goes through the motions, and at the end of the day he wonders why he still feels empty. It's because he's missing the one thing that gives life true meaning: love. We often think of love as something soft, something extra, something we'll get to when we have time. But love is not optional. It is the core of what makes us human. Without love, whether from family, friends, or within ourselves, we are just existing, not living. Some people avoid love because they fear pain. They think if they never let anyone in, they'll never get hurt. But in reality, shutting out love doesn't protect you, it isolates you. True strength is not in avoiding love, but in embracing it, even when there is risk. Because the greatest pain is not in loving and losing. It's in never loving at all. We chase success, thinking it will fill the void. We believe that if we work harder, earn more, or achieve more, we will finally feel complete. But no amount of external success can replace the fulfillment that comes from deep, meaningful connections. Love is not a distraction from success, it is the reason for it. What good is winning if there's no one to celebrate with? But love doesn't just happen, it requires effort. It demands time, patience, and the willingness to be vulnerable. It starts with self-love, because you cannot truly give love to others if you don't first believe that you are worthy of it yourself. If you're living without love, you're living in a cage of your own making. The door is open, you just have to step through it, call that friend, hug your parents, tell someone you appreciate them, look in the mirror and remind yourself that you are enough. Because in the end, we won't remember the things we owned, the titles we earned, or the goals we accomplished. What we will remember, the only thing that will truly matter, is who we loved and who loved us back. Love is not just about romantic relationships. While we often think of love as something that exists only between partners, the truth is, love is the foundation of all meaningful connections. It is the bond between parents and children, the loyalty shared between friends, the care between neighbors, and the respect between colleagues. It is not confined to one kind of relationship or one particular feeling. Love exists in all its forms, creating a web of connections that shapes how we live, work, and experience the world. In fact, the love you give and receive in these non-romantic relationships is often deeper and more enduring than anything you might find in fleeting romance. The love of family provides security, the love of friends offers support, and the love of self provides a foundation for confidence and peace. These forms of love are the threads that tie us to something greater than ourselves. They are what give us a sense of belonging and purpose in life. Romantic love is beautiful, but it is often fleeting or conditional. In contrast, the love between friends and family is built on history, shared experiences, and mutual care. It doesn't depend on the highs of passion or the lows of heartache. It simply exists, unwavering and constant. These are the relationships that stand the test of time, offering a sense of continuity and stability in a world that's often unpredictable. And then there's self-love. So many people spend their lives searching for love from others without realizing the importance of loving themselves first. Without self-love, we cannot truly accept or give love to others. It starts with the recognition of our own worth, treating ourselves with kindness, patience, and understanding. Once we do this, we become more open to the love others have to offer. The absence of love in any form, whether from others or from ourselves, leaves us feeling disconnected and incomplete. Love is what keeps us grounded. It reminds us that we are not alone, that we matter, and that our lives have purpose. It fills the gaps that success, wealth, and achievement cannot reach. A life without love is an empty one. No matter how much wealth, success, or recognition a person may achieve, without love, their accomplishments feel hollow. At the end of the day, what truly fulfills us is not what we have, but who we share our lives with. The deepest moments of joy come not from material gain, but from the bonds we form with others, from knowing that we are seen, heard, and loved. When a person lives without love, they exist in a world of isolation. They might be surrounded by people, but they're not truly connected. They can fill their days with work, tasks, and achievements, but the satisfaction they seek remains just out of reach. They may climb to the top of their careers or accumulate wealth, but none of it can fill the void that love would fill. This absence of love leaves a person constantly searching for something to make them feel complete, but nothing ever does. In the quiet moments, when the noise of life fades, they are left with the overwhelming realization that what they long for most is not success or admiration, but a sense of connection. They want to be loved, to love in return, to share their life with others in a meaningful way. But without love, there is no real sense of belonging, no true purpose in what they do. The achievements that once seemed so important lose their significance, because they were not shared with the ones who matter most. The irony is that a life filled with love is not a life free of challenges or difficulties. In fact, love often requires vulnerability, sacrifice, and hard work. But it is also what makes life worth living. Without it, every success, every victory, every achievement becomes nothing more than an empty trophy on a shelf. Love is what gives our struggles meaning and our victories joy. Without love, we are merely surviving. With love, we are truly living out of resolve. Fear of vulnerability is one of the biggest barriers that blocks love from entering a person's life. The man who lives without love often does so because he's afraid of getting hurt. He may have been hurt in the past, perhaps by betrayal, rejection, or loss. And now he shields himself from any form of emotional connection. He believes that if he doesn't let anyone close, he can avoid the pain that love sometimes brings. But what he doesn't realize is that by avoiding love, he is only preventing himself from experiencing the joy and fulfillment that it brings. Yes, love comes with risk. Every relationship, every connection holds the potential for hurt, but it also holds the potential for deep, transformative connection. Love is not about guaranteeing that you won't get hurt. It's about embracing the possibility of pain while also allowing yourself to experience the greatest joys of life. True strength is not found in protecting oneself from the hurt of love. True strength is found in embracing vulnerability, the courage to open your heart, to show up fully, and to trust others, even when there's a chance of disappointment. Vulnerability is what makes us human. It is what allows us to connect on a deeper level with others, to share our true selves, and to experience real intimacy. When a person allows themselves to be vulnerable, they open the door to love. They give others permission to love them, flaws and all. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is the gateway to authentic relationships. The man who chooses to live without love because he fears vulnerability is also choosing to live without connection, without deep meaning, and without the richness that love brings to life. Love gives life purpose. Without love, life becomes a series of tasks to complete, goals to reach, and milestones to tick off. Success, money, or status might feel fulfilling for a time, but those things alone do not provide a deep sense of meaning. It is love, whether it's the love we give to others or the love we receive, that turns life from a routine existence into something extraordinary. The man who lives without love often finds himself chasing success without understanding why he's doing it. His work, his achievements, his material gains, they all begin to feel hollow. He may ask himself, what's the point of it all? The truth is, without love, there's no deeper reason to go after anything. Love provides the why behind the effort. It gives us a reason to wake up in the morning, to push through challenges, and to keep striving for something greater than ourselves. Love fuels our purpose. It gives us a sense of belonging and a reason to keep going. When we have someone to share our victories with, those victories feel more meaningful. When we have someone to lean on through hardships, those hardships feel more bearable. Love turns ordinary moments into extraordinary memories. It's the thread that weaves meaning into the fabric of our lives, reminding us that we are part of something bigger than just ourselves. A life without love is one where the deepest purpose is missing. It's a life driven by external validation rather than internal fulfillment. True purpose comes from connection, not just with others, but with ourselves, our values, and the people we care about. And in that connection, we find the true meaning of life. Self-love is the first and most crucial step in allowing love to flourish in every other aspect of life. A man who does not love himself cannot fully love others. If you don't value and appreciate your own worth, how can you expect others to do so? Self-love is not about arrogance or vanity. It's about self-acceptance and kindness. It's about treating yourself with the same care and respect that you would offer to someone you love deeply. Without self-love, a person often seeks validation from the outside, relying on others to fill the emptiness within. They look for love, approval, and recognition, but no amount of external affection can truly satisfy the internal need for self-acceptance. When you do not love yourself, you are constantly searching for something to make you feel whole, but nothing can ever fill that void until you realize that you are already complete. Self-love means forgiving yourself for past mistakes, accepting your flaws, and believing that you are worthy of love and respect, just as you are. It's about building a healthy relationship with yourself, nurturing your body, mind, and soul, and giving yourself permission to be imperfect. When you truly love yourself, you become more open to the love of others. You no longer rely on the others to define your worth. Instead, you attract love because you radiate confidence and self-respect. It's important to remember that self-love is not selfish. It is the foundation of all other relationships. By taking care of yourself, by loving yourself first, you become a better partner, friend, and family member. You can only offer the best of yourself when you are whole and at peace with who you are. Only then can you give love freely and openly, without expectation or fear of rejection. Love requires effort. It's not something that simply happens. It's something you build and nurture over time. Many people live without love because they expect it to come easily, but love, true love, takes work. It requires patience, understanding, and a willingness to invest in others. Just as you cannot expect a plant to grow without watering it, you cannot expect love to thrive without effort. The man who lives without love often has a misguided view of what love should look like. He might expect love to be effortless, to be constant and always rewarding, but love in its truest form is dynamic. It changes, it grows, and sometimes it needs time and attention to heal or strengthen. Relationships take work. Whether it's communicating openly, being present, or making sacrifices for the people you care about. This effort doesn't always come easily, and at times it might feel exhausting, but the rewards, mutual respect, shared joy, emotional connection are worth every bit of effort you put in. Love also requires vulnerability, and vulnerability requires effort. It means being honest with yourself and others, even when the truth is difficult. It means opening up, allowing yourself to be seen for who you truly are, without the armor of perfection or pride. And while this can feel uncomfortable or risky, it is this kind of honesty that creates deep, meaningful connections. The effort love requires is not just about doing things for others, it's also about showing up, being present, and caring for your relationships over time. It means not taking love for granted, but actively working to maintain and strengthen it. When both people in a relationship invest their time, energy, and emotions, love grows and deepens. It's not an automatic process, it's a journey that is fueled by effort, intention, and care. Without putting in this effort, love can stagnate, fade, or even disappear. It's easy to take the people closest to you for granted or to expect them to always make the effort, but real love is reciprocal. It's about both giving and receiving, constantly checking in with each other and making sure you're both nurturing the bond. Without effort, love becomes a mere memory of what it once was. But with consistent work, love can thrive, evolve, and become the most fulfilling part of life. Choosing love over loneliness is one of the most powerful decisions a person can make. The man who lives without love often finds himself surrounded by people, yet feeling utterly alone. He might believe that solitude is easier, that it's safer not to open his heart to others. But in truth, loneliness is a painful, empty existence. It's the absence of connection, the lack of emotional intimacy, and the absence of that sense of belonging that every human soul craves. Living without love often means living with a constant longing. A man may fill his time with distractions, work, hobbies, or superficial relationships, But underneath it all, he yearns for a deeper connection. He may think that being alone protects him from pain or disappointment, but what he doesn't realize is that choosing loneliness is also choosing a life that lacks the richness of shared experiences, emotional depth, and authentic bonds. Choosing love, on the other hand, is choosing vulnerability, connection, and growth. It means stepping out of the comfort zone of isolation and embracing the beauty of being truly seen by others. Love opens doors to joy, companionship, and fulfillment. Yes, it brings with it the possibility of heartbreak, but it also brings the possibility of deep, meaningful relationships that add purpose to life. Loneliness might seem like a temporary solution, but it's not a long-term answer. It's a form of self-imposed isolation that can erode a person's sense of self-worth and emotional well-being. When a person chooses love, whether it's the love of family, friends, or a partner, they open themselves to the kind of life that makes everything worth living. Choosing love is choosing connection over isolation, depth over surface-level interactions, and meaning over emptiness. It's the antidote to loneliness and the key to a life filled with purpose and joy. The man who lives without love may appear to be strong, independent, and self-sufficient, but deep down, he is missing the very essence of what it means to truly live. Love is not just an emotion. It is the glue that binds us, the force that gives our lives meaning and purpose. Without it, no success, achievement, or material possession will ever feel complete. It's time to choose love, not as a last resort, but as the foundation of your life. Open your heart to the people around you, embrace vulnerability, and allow yourself to be seen. Love is not always easy, but it is always worth it. It will fill the void that nothing else can, it will bring fulfillment and connection, and it will make the journey of life far more beautiful. Choose love today. Choose to live fully, to connect deeply, and to embrace the richness that only love can offer. Because a life without love is not a life at all.